Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, with Kwakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Shalom to my Akim, Wakwathim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this foul captivity, as well as a speckled bird that may look like the other nations, but are actually Yasharallah. This is Brother Kawakab coming at you with no lesson. Today's lesson, I want to go, for Matthew chapter 23, verse 3. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do, but do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. So basically, there's going to be times when, bear with me one moment because I need to remember this before I forget it, which I just forgot it right then and there. Let me read this again. Matthew 23 verse 3. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do. Oh yeah. James chapter 1 verse 23. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer of the word, and not a doer, Slakia, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. So basically, the thing here is, if you're only going to hear the word and you don't actually do it, then you're basically a hypocrite. All right, because what's the point of saying you believe in all that stuff if you're not going to actually take the initiative and do the works that the Lord is asking and requesting of you? If the Lord tells you go clean up or something, and you just say, oh, I know the Lord told me to go clean up, but I'm not going to go clean up because I just don't want to and stuff like that. So that's where you have to be like, okay, sometimes there are things that we should do, but of course, it falls in line with what the scriptures say, but the issue comes into play where it's like you hear people telling you, oh yeah, go do this, go do that, whatever, but you're not actually, or they're telling you what to do, but they themselves, they don't do it, meaning that they're hypocrites. Or you're hearing what the right thing to do, or you're hearing what the Lord told you to do from the scriptures and whatnot, but then, oh well, I just don't want to do it, and you just don't do it, and you're being lazy rather than actually taking the word of the Lord seriously. Luke chapter 12 verse 56. Ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky and the earth, but how is it that ye do not discern this time? So basically, you understand, okay, well, I know I can do all this stuff, I know all this science or on this math, I'm educated and all that stuff, but you don't even know what the time is, or how are you going to big yourself up as this great educated person if you can't even understand what the Lord wants from you, or what the Lord expects from you, all right, or the purpose to which the Lord has given us these lives for? Because a lot of people have purposes, all right, so we just to fulfill our purpose, but what is our main purpose? Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. So yeah, that's basically the whole duty of man, to fear Yahweh and keep his commandments. That's our obligation. That's our duty. That's it. Like, that's the end all be all, basically. All right. So for us to, oh my God, for us to disregard that, that's where the issues therein lie. All right, now basically you have these people that are bear with me one moment, God damn. All right, Slakia. I forgot where I was at. I forgot where I was at. I was talking about something about hypocrites or something like that. Basically, oh yeah, the whole duty and all that stuff. Basically, our main duty is to do all this stuff, but yet you have the hypocrites that don't want to follow along with the initial purpose, but yet you have people that will say that will I think it's a tactic called virtue signaling, where what they do is they say, oh yeah, I'm such a great person, I do this or I do that and whatnot, but in actuality, what are the things that they actually do? How do they actually contribute to writing the wickedness in the world, where the thing about that is just, oh well, there's no real like writing or correction. It's all just, oh well, I'm just gonna do this because just simply because I can. I'm gonna be a demon, I'm gonna be evil, I'm gonna be stupid, I'm gonna be whatever, rather than, okay, let me take the time to be productive. All right, let me actually follow the things that I'm teaching, rather than just, oh well, I'm gonna tell other people to do this, and then in terms of me, like for example, Esau tells us to follow Christianity. Christianity says to forgive your enemy, but whenever they're put in the exact same situation, okay, well, we're not going to forgive it. We're not going to forgive anyone. We're not going to turn the other cheek. But they tell Jake to turn the other cheek, but they themselves like, oh, we're going to fight in the war. And as a matter of fact, there was that Martin Luther King Boondocks episode where he was viewed as a hater of America for preaching those exact same values that Esau puts on us. All right, so that was the irony of it, where when the Martin Luther King in the episode was saying basically we should turn the other cheek, what he learned from Black Christianity or from Christianity, they were saying, oh, he's anti-American and all that stuff. All right, because he's not saying to fight back. All right, so I thought that was a pretty funny thing. All right, so let's continue on. I already read this, but Matthew chapter 23, verse 3, all therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do, but do not ye after their works, for they say and not do. So again, as I said before, they're hearers of the word but not doers. They don't care about, oh, is this the right thing? Is this good? Am I trying to be good? Am I trying to serve Yahawadah MANASHAH, or am I just doing something out of my own belly? I mean, that's that wicked mindset, that wicked philosophies that they go after. James chapter 1 verse 23, for if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. It's like, okay, well, look at yourself before you start telling people, like you're telling someone, go and clean your room, but they themselves, their room is not clean, it's all dirty and whatnot. All right, Romans chapter 13 verse 1, but at the same time, this is the importance of Matthew chapter 23 verse 3. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of Yahawah, but the powers that be are ordained of Yahawah. Let me also get this. Sirach chapter 10 verse 2, as a judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. And because Esau doesn't like to follow his own rules, all right, even though he made those rules, which basically are the current law of the land, even though Esau does not follow his own laws, but we are expected to follow the laws simply because, we are not supposed to take up after Esau. But you have so many people that, specifically Jake, as well as other Edomites, as well as other heathens, that are taking up after Esau, Edom, rather than just actually having some form of morality in them, rather than sticking to their morality, sticking to their what they know is good and what they know is right. Then they just say, oh well, Esau is prospering. And let me actually see if I can find that. Psalms 73, verse 3. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. So basically, the wicked is prospering, but the righteous is not prospering. But this is only for a time. And we also get this. Verse 5, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued as other men. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Basically, whatever they do, they are going to get away with it compared to other people. And what happens if they get away with it? What happens if you try calling them out on it? Well, be quiet or shut up before we use our military might on you and whatnot. So it's like, okay, well, you can't do anything. Okay, there's never anything that you can actually do against Esau in times like these. All right, so basically something to remember. Jeremiah 10 verse 2, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Basically, at the end of the day, there might be some people that are saying, oh yeah, follow after YAHAWASHI and whatnot, do the right thing and whatnot, but ultimately at the end of the day, all right, it doesn't matter, because once again, we're just going to go back into the matter of them being hypocrites, telling us to follow along, telling us to do all these things, which, yeah, maybe they are good. Like, for example, Slakia. Like, for example, there's a literal law that says you're not allowed to steal. So Esau says you're not allowed to steal. Of course, that's a good thing. You're not supposed to steal. The Lord Yahawadah does not want you to steal. And Esau says don't steal, but at the same time, Esau himself does steal. So as a result of that, you're going to have people that are going to want to say, okay, well, Esau does it, so let me go do it as well. But you have to abstain from that type of behavior and just stick to what is right, stick to following Yahawadah, because regardless of however Esau is prospering, that's not how you want to prosper, because you don't want that temporary wealth. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawadah, Hashem, Yahawashi, Hashem, Requaquidash, double honor to the elders and apostles, great most known about and Shalom.